Have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels, doing everything right, but still not really getting ahead? Today, we're going to unpack two really powerful ideas from Wattles' classic, The Science of Getting Rich, that get right to the heart of why that happens, and more importantly, how to change it.
I mean, this has to be one of the most common feelings out there, right? You're putting in the hours, you're doing all the things you think you're supposed to be doing, but it feels like you're just pushing against a locked door. It's that exhausting sensation of swimming against a current that just never seems to let up.
So where does that feeling of being stuck even come from? Well, almost always it's rooted in this deep-seated belief that opportunity is, well, scarce, that there's only so much success to go around, like it's some kind of limited pie. A worldview that says if someone else wins, you have to lose. But what if that entire idea is just wrong? This is the exact concept that Wattles challenges, right at its very core.
See, he argues that no one is truly held back because opportunity has somehow been taken away from them. The world just isn't a fixed pie where someone else's big slice means yours has to be smaller. This whole idea that wealth and chances are monopolized by just a few people, he calls that a myth. And it's a really powerful one, because it's the very thing that can keep us from seeing the possibilities that are literally all around us.
So here's the crucial point. Think of opportunity less like a solid object and more like a tide. It's always flowing, always moving. And at different times, that tide flows in totally different directions, based on what society needs and how the world is evolving. So the real key isn't to fight harder for a shrinking space. It's to learn to see where that tide is flowing right now and move with it.
And that ability, right, the skill of actually seeing and moving with that tide of opportunity, well, that comes from a really fundamental shift in how you see the world. It's all about moving from what Wattles calls the competitive mind to the creative mind. Okay, so this is where the difference really becomes clear. Let's look at the competitive mind first. It operates from a default setting of scarcity, that there's not enough. So its focus is on taking from others, and it views the world as a constant battle for resources. Now, flip over to the creative mind. It starts from a place of abundance. Its goal isn't to take anything, but to create new value. It doesn't see a battlefield. It sees a wide-open field of pure, untapped potential.
And this just boils it all down, doesn't it? The entire shift is moving from asking, how can I get my peace, to asking, what can I create? That one little change in the question reframes everything. Your focus snaps away from lack and what everyone else is doing, and it lands squarely on your own potential and what you can contribute. That is the shift.
Okay, so if the whole game is about creating, then how does that process actually start? I mean, where does something new even come from? This brings us to what Wattles calls his first principle. It's basically his explanation for the mechanics of how creation actually works.
In plain English, everything you see around you that was made by humans started as a thought. The device you're watching this on, the chair you might be sitting in, the building you're in, all of it was just an idea in someone's mind first. That single thought is what kicked off all the actions, all the commerce and industry and teamwork needed to make it real. The thought always comes first.
Now, Wattles breaks this down into 3 steps. And yeah, the language is over 100 years old, so let's not get lost in it. When he talks about a thinking substance, you can just think of it as the raw, untapped potential that exists all around us. The really crucial idea is in the next 2 steps. A clear, focused thought acts like a blueprint. It's what gives all that raw potential a direction and begins the process of bringing something new into the world.
And let's be clear, this isn't magic. It's really about attentional control. It's about how your brain is literally wired to filter reality. What you consistently hold in your mind, what you focus on is what you are training your brain to notice opportunities for. Your focus literally determines what you see in the world around you, and ultimately what you'll be inspired to act on. Okay, so theory is great, but how does this actually play out in real life? Let's make it practical. We're going to look at 3 common areas where you can apply this creative mindset right now. In your work, your relationships, and your daily habits. So for work, this means you hold the vision of the job you want while performing your current one with excellence and creativity. You start acting your way into that better role. In relationships, the creative mindset gives freely without keeping score, which naturally just builds stronger, more authentic connections. And for habits, that clear mental image of your future self, that acts as the powerful driver, the why, that pulls your new, desired actions into place.
So here's a simple, practical exercise you can do anytime you feel stuck, frustrated, or you notice yourself slipping back into that competitive, scarcity mindset. We'll call it the Opportunity Radar Reset.
This isn't about figuring out the entire journey from A to Z. It's about using your vision to inspire the very next single step you can take right where you are with what you already have. Taking that one small, excellent action builds momentum, and more importantly, it proves to yourself that you are in control.
So, to wrap this all up, that feeling of being stuck is often just an illusion created by a competitive mindset. When you shift to a creative mind, you stop fighting the current and you start aligning with the natural, abundant flow of opportunity. Your thoughts draw the map, but it's your actions, right here and now, that bring it to life.
But, thinking and acting in this new way is only part of the equation. In our next explainer, we're going to cover the engine that powers this entire process: gratitude. You can find the full Science of Getting Rich playlist right here on our channel. I'll see you there.